Welcome to episode 10 of the All for Our City podcast. This is the return of the podcast. I know it's been almost a year since the last episode. I never wanted to stop, but when I did, I just didn't get back to doing it. It's a new year. We're about to start a new season, so I figured I'd get back to doing this. Today I will be talking a little bit about Reno 1868 FC's 2020 schedule and the team's current roster. Reno is currently in preseason. The team just finished training in San Jose. We are also about a week and a half away from Reno hosting San Diego in a preseason match here in Reno. I am not going to talk about the full schedule. I already wrote a blog about it. I'm just going to pick out a few games and talk about those. I want to talk about the Donner Pass Derby first. Our first game in this series will be on March 25th in Sacramento. Reno will not host Sacramento until October 10th, which will be the Donner Pass Derby finale. Reno has won the Cup in the last 3 seasons. Reno won in 2017 with 2 wins and a draw. Reno won in 2018 on goal differential after a win and a loss. Reno won in 2019 after going 2-0 versus Sac. Reno has an overall record of 5-1-1 versus Sacramento. One area Reno has struggled with Sacramento is non-league play. Reno can't seem to catch a break, whether that's in preseason, the Open Cup, or playoffs. Reno has always seemed to not step up against Sac in those situations. That is something that Reno does need to improve on. This will also be the second to last year of the Donner Pass Derby, as Sacramento will be moving to the MLS in 2022. The next series I'm going to talk about is the Silver State Cup. Reno will open up the Silver State Cup on April 4th at home. Reno will not play Las Vegas again until September 26th in Las Vegas. That game will be the final for the 2020 series. Reno has not lost a game to Las Vegas. Reno is currently 3-0-2 versus Las Vegas. Both of the draws came in 2018. Reno won and shut out Las Vegas in both games in 2019. Up to this point, it really hasn't been a competitive series. Reno has been dominant, and I don't expect that to change anytime soon. Now, getting into some away games I want to go to. I wanted to go to Tacoma, but that won't be happening. That's just because of poor timing. I will be traveling to Sac on March 25th for that game. I haven't missed a league match in the Donner Pass Derby yet. March 28th, we'll see Reno go to Portland. That's a game that I've always wanted to go to. I can't commit to it yet. That's just because it is only a few days after the Sacramento game. April 15th, Reno will be in LA. That's a game I wouldn't mind going to. The problem with that game is that it's on a Wednesday. May 5th, Reno will be heading to Colorado Springs. That's another game I've always wanted to go to. I don't know if I'll make it out to that one again because it's on a weekday. May 16th, Reno will be in Orange County. It's another Southern California game that I wouldn't mind going to. May 29th, Reno will be in Phoenix. I don't have a ton of interest in going to Phoenix for a game. I've heard some bad things about some of their fans. Plus, it's going to be in May, and it's going to be really hot in Phoenix in May. June 13th, Reno will be in Salt Lake. That's another road trip that I do enjoy going on. Reno will be in San Diego on June 27th. That's another Southern California game I would like to go to. The last road trip of the year will be in Las Vegas on September 26th. I do plan on staying there longer this year to do more on the Strip. Last year I didn't get a ton of time to do as much as I wanted. I think an extra day would be great. I will be trying to make one away trip a month. Funds will end up being the issue more often than I would like. I also don't think that most of these trips would be worth it if none of the other Reno supporters are there. I do think this year will be busier than previous years when it comes to road trips that I'm doing. And of course, playoff road trip games I always want to go on and I always try to make. Switching gears now, I want to talk about the current Reno 1868 FC roster. Zach Carroll, Will Seymour, Danny Muzovsky, Emra Clementa, Seth Kasipli, and Raul Mendiola have all been released by the team. Zach Carroll, Danny Muzovsky, and Raul Mendiola were some of the most productive players for our team in 2019. Raul Mendiola was my favorite player of last year. Seeing him raise the Silver State Cup in Las Vegas was probably one of the most iconic moments in our team's short history. We start off re-signed players with Brent Richards. He played in 32 games, had 32 shots. 6 of those shots were on target, and only one of them ended up in the back of the net in 2019. He had 95 clearances, 17 blocks, and 68 interceptions last season. He is a solid defensive player, and I am happy to see his return to Reno. Thomas Janjigian is coming back. He played in 20 games. He took 5 shots, 4 of which were on target, and 1 went in the net during the 2019 season. On defense, he had 69 clearances, 9 blocks, and 26 interceptions. He is another solid defensive re-signing. Corey Herzog will be coming back. He played 35 games, took 80 shots, put 38 shots on target, and scored 19 goals during the 2019 season. On defense, he got 20 clearances and 8 interceptions. He was one of our strongest offensive players in 2019, and I hope he will continue to be that moving forward in the 2020 season. Sam Gleadle is another re-signing. He played 27 games. He took 28 shots. He put 10 of those on target and put 5 of those shots in the net during the 2019 season. On defense, he had 15 clearances, 3 blocks, and 30 interceptions. He was one of our top midfielders last season, and I think he will continue to be an impact player in 2020. Yasmar Hernandez re-signed. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm probably going to butcher some names real quick. I don't think he played a single game with Reno, at least a league match with Reno last year. I couldn't find him on the USL website. Sergio Rivas will be making a return. He played in 16 games. He took 15 shots, 6 were on target, and 2 went in the net in 2019. On defense, he had 7 clearances, 1 block, and 5 interceptions. He was an average player in 2019. I think he could be more of an impact player in 2020. The last re-signing is Aiden Apodaka. He played in 15 games. He took 20 shots. 14 of those were on target, and 5 ended up in the net in 2019. On defense, he got 2 clearances, 1 block, and 2 interceptions. I think he's another solid re-signing by the team. I think he is another player who has potential to do more in 2020. Moving on to new players, here is the new blood who Reno has signed for 2020. Coming from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Mohamed Dabo, I believe that's how you say his name. He played 24 games in 2019. He only took 3 shots and didn't score a goal. He got 7 clearances and 24 interceptions. He isn't the strongest midfield signing. I assume he was signed more to be a depth player. Tucker Bone comes to Reno from the Colorado Switchbacks FC. He played in 16 games last season. He scored 1 goal on 11 shots. He had 2 clearances, 1 block, 5 interceptions last season. Again, I think it's another depth signing. Kevin Partita is now signed with Reno and no longer on loan. He played in 13 games with Reno last year. He took 5 shots and had 0 goals. He had 10 clearances, 2 blocks, and 18 interceptions during the 2019 season. I think he is a solid midfield player and that this was a good signing. Benji Kikanovic signed with Reno after 2 seasons at Sac State. I've seen some of his highlights, and I think that he could be an offensive threat in the USL in 2020. Reno also signed a Kyrgyzstan national team player. I think that's how you say that country. Ayrton Stady. I think that's how you say that name. I'm not sure. I'm probably butchering a lot of names today. I think he's a solid defensive addition. We'll see how he adjusts to the USL style of play. Cristiano Francis, I think that's, or Fransos is how you say his name. I'm not quite sure. Again, with the butchering of names. He's coming to play for Reno from the Ottawa Fury. He played 29 games in 2019. He took 48 shots and had 8 goals. He had 5 clearances and 11 interceptions on defense. He seems like a solid midfield signing. He seems like he has potential to do more in 2020 with Reno. The last signing Reno announced was former Seattle Sounders defender Tony Alfeo. He played 14 games with the Seattle Sounders too in 2018. In those 14 games, he only took 1 shot, but he got 56 clearances, 7 blocks, and 25 interceptions. He is probably the best defenseman that the team has signed for 2020. Having MLS experience will hopefully help him elevate the team on defense. One thing that has not been announced is a goalkeeper. I don't think Matt Bersano or JT will be coming back this season. I'm not sure who will be in the goalkeeper role this season. I think whoever our keeper is will probably be a loan from San Jose. Yeah, that's all I have for today. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week.